Welcome, miladies of inestimable value. When two lone wolves cross paths, the forest holds its breath. A Sigma female falling for a Sigma male isn't your run-of-the-mill love story. It's a collision of two enigmatic forces that rewrite the rulebook of relationships. Forget romance as you know it. This isn't about candlelit dinners or sappy declarations of love. It's about two fiercely independent souls finding themselves drawn together in a way that's equal parts magnetic and baffling. Here's the twist. Psychologists estimate that only about 12% of people operate with the Sigma personality archetype, making this pairing as rare as finding Wi-Fi in the middle of nowhere. But when it happens, sparks don't just fly. They burn in a silent, unspoken intensity. And let's be clear, this isn't a relationship made for rom-coms or Instagram highlights. No over-the-top, heart-shaped balloons or relationship goals hashtags here. Instead, what you get is a dynamic so layered and unconventional that even Cupid himself would scratch his head. So, buckle up. This isn't just a love story. It's a deep dive into what happens when two unshakable individuals dare to let their walls down, just a little. And trust me, it's nothing like what you're used to seeing. Number one. Their love is invisible, yet loud. Their love isn't loud, flashy, or begging for attention. It's like a private signal only they can hear. You won't catch them broadcasting their relationship to the world or drowning in public displays of affection. In fact, to the untrained eye, it might seem like there's nothing happening at all. But beneath that calm, reserved surface is a connection that's so powerful it doesn't need to be announced. When a Sigma female and Sigma male fall for each other, their bond exists in a realm where words and grand gestures don't carry much weight. They don't need the validation of others to define what they share, and that's what makes it so unique. Their love speaks in the subtle moments, an unspoken glance across the room, a quiet understanding when no one else gets them, and an unshakable trust that doesn't require constant reassurance. For them, intimacy isn't about showing the world. It's about showing up for each other in ways that truly matter. The irony? What they share is louder than any public display because it's genuine. It's not rehearsed or polished to impress others. It's raw and honest in a way most people wouldn't understand. There's no performative romance here. No need to prove anything to anyone. Their connection thrives in its invisibility to outsiders. What you don't see is the depth of their bond, the fire in their silences, and the loyalty that ties them together without chains. This isn't a love story that fits into anyone's expectations, and that's precisely why it works. It's not about being seen, it's about being felt. And if you're lucky enough to witness even a fraction of it, you'll realize that the quietest kind of love often carries the loudest truth. Number two. Competition and collaboration in equal measure. When a Sigma female and Sigma male come together, their relationship is an electrifying blend of competition and collaboration, creating a dynamic that keeps both of them on their toes. They aren't the type to sit back and nod in agreement just to keep the peace. Instead, they challenge each other at every turn. Whether it's a debate about an idea, a playful rivalry over who's more self-reliant, or a clash of opinions, neither backs down easily. But here's the magic. Their competition isn't about tearing each other down. It's about sharpening each other's edges. In many relationships, competition can create tension. But for these two, it's a form of mutual respect. Their differences fuel their growth, forcing them to step out of their comfort zones and see things from a perspective they might have overlooked. And when it's time to collaborate, that's where they truly shine. They channel their combined intensity into building something greater than themselves. Whether it's brainstorming ideas for a shared goal, pushing each other to achieve personal dreams, or even deconstructing and reconstructing their worldviews, their partnership thrives on this balance of rivalry and teamwork. Neither wants to dominate the other. Instead, they elevate each other, pushing boundaries without crossing lines. It's a dynamic that's as exhausting as it is exhilarating, like being in a constant game of mental chess with someone you deeply admire. What's fascinating is how they never let their competition overshadow their bond. It's always rooted in respect admiration, and the shared belief that they're better together than apart. Their relationship is proof that a little healthy competition isn't just a spark. It's the fire that keeps them moving forward, growing stronger and never settling for less than extraordinary. Number 3, no fear of losing their individuality. When a Sigma female and a Sigma male come together, the last thing they do is lose themselves in the relationship. They don't believe in becoming one because, frankly, the idea of merging identities feels suffocating to them. Instead, they thrive on being two whole, independent individuals who choose to stand side by side. Their connection isn't about filling gaps or erasing differences. It's about amplifying their strengths while giving each other the freedom to be exactly who they are. What sets them apart is their refusal to compromise their individuality for the sake of togetherness. A Sigma female will still pursue her passions, goals, and solitude, while the Sigma male will continue walking his path with the same determination. They don't need to orbit around each other to prove their love. In fact, they find comfort in knowing that their partner isn't trying to fit them into a mold or demand constant closeness. Their bond is based on respect, not dependence. This dynamic doesn't mean they're distant or disconnected. Quite the opposite. It's their individuality that makes their relationship so rich. They bring unique perspectives, skills, and experiences to the table, creating a partnership that feels alive and constantly evolving. They admire each other's independence instead of fearing it, and that admiration only deepens their connection. What they have is rare, a relationship where neither feels the need to shrink or overcompensate. They don't complete each other because they were already complete to begin with. Instead, they complement each other in ways that are subtle but profound. Their individuality isn't a threat. It's the very thing that keeps their connection strong, balanced, and endlessly intriguing. Together, they're unstoppable, but always as themselves. Number 4. It's the kind of bond that could end, but won't. When a Sigma female and Sigma male connect, their bond isn't built on fleeting emotions or shallow promises. It's raw, intentional, and rooted in a deep respect for each other's individuality. But here's the thing, they're both fiercely independent. And if their relationship ever reaches a crossroads, it won't collapse under the weight of petty drama, toxic arguments, or betrayal. For them, ending things would never be impulsive. It would be a deliberate, clear-eyed decision made with mutual understanding. Neither of them clings to a relationship out of fear, insecurity, or societal pressure. If they stay, it's not because they're afraid of being alone or worried about what others might think. It's because they've consciously chosen each other again and again, even when it's hard. This kind of connection is rare, and that's exactly why it's so powerful. It's not about convenience or comfort. It's about respect, alignment, and a shared sense of purpose. If they ever walk away, it's because they know it's what's best for both of them, not because one person wronged the other. And while most relationships end with resentment or regret, theirs wouldn't. It would end with dignity, because even in parting, they wouldn't lose the respect that brought them together in the first place. But the truth is, their bond is built to last. Why? Because it's free from all the superficial trappings that usually tear people apart. No codependency, no manipulation, no unrealistic expectations. They don't stay together out of habit. They stay because they see the value in each other and in what they've built. And as long as that value remains, their bond is the kind that might bend under pressure but will never, ever break. Number 5, emotionally intense but rationally grounded. When a Sigma female and Sigma male come together, their connection is a rare mix of raw emotional intensity and calm rationality. They feel deeply, probably more deeply than most, but they don't let their emotions run the show. Unlike relationships that thrive on dramatic highs and lows, theirs is anchored in thoughtfulness and self-control. They experience passion, yes, but it's not reckless or chaotic. It's the kind of fire that warms, not burns. Neither of them is the type to lash out in anger or escalate a disagreement for the sake of winning. Instead, they handle conflict with an almost unnerving calm. They'll pause, reflect, and approach each issue with logic, even if their emotions are simmering beneath the surface. It's not that they suppress how they feel. It's that they understand the power of balance. For every surge of passion, there's an equal measure of thoughtfulness to keep things from spiraling out of control. This rational grounding doesn't make their relationship cold or detached. It makes it incredibly stable. They don't need grand, over-the-top displays of affection to prove their love, nor do they rely on petty arguments to feel alive. Their bond thrives in the space between extremes where emotions are honored but never allowed to dictate every move. What makes this dynamic so powerful is how intentional it is. They don't waste energy on unnecessary drama, which allows them to focus on what really matters, growing together. Their connection is like a well-balanced flame, intense enough to keep things exciting, but steady enough to withstand life's inevitable storms. It's proof that passion doesn't need to be chaotic to be meaningful, and stability doesn't have to come at the cost of excitement. Number 6. No need to be needed. When a sigma female and sigma male come together, there's no messy entanglement of dependence or hidden agendas. Their relationship isn't built on the idea of saving each other or filling some emotional void. They don't fall into the trap of being someone's crutch or project because, let's face it, they're not looking for a fixer-upper. They're drawn to someone who can stand on their own 2 feet. What makes their bond so refreshing is the absence of neediness. Neither of them relies on the other for their sense of worth, happiness, or identity. They already have those things figured out, and it's precisely why they can create something so strong and unshakable. They thrive in the knowledge that they're together because they want to be, not because they need to be. There's a quiet power in that. This dynamic isn't just freeing, it's deeply respectful. They don't smother each other with constant validation or demands for attention. Instead, they give each other room to breathe, to grow, to exist as individuals even while being part of a team. There's no desperation to cling or control, which eliminates the toxicity that often seeps into relationships based on dependence. But don't mistake this for a lack of passion. Their connection is fierce precisely because it's a choice, not an obligation. They don't have to be together. They choose to be every single day. And that makes their bond so much stronger. It's not about filling gaps or rescuing each other. It's about walking side by side, fully whole and fully invested. It's a rare kind of love, one that doesn't drain but energizes, doesn't trap but liberates, and doesn't waver because it's built on the strongest foundation of all, freedom. Number 7. The most non-traditional power couple. When a sigma female and sigma male come together, they redefine what it means to be a power couple. Forget the glossy Instagram aesthetic, the curated perfect partnership, or the constant need to flaunt success for validation. They couldn't care less about fitting into society's picture of a power duo because their focus isn't on appearances, it's on real impact. Individually, they're already forces to be reckoned with. But together? They don't just complement each other, they amplify each other in ways that most people can't even fathom. What makes them so unique is that their strength as a couple isn't about one person riding the other's coattails. They're equals in every sense of the word. They don't need to compete for the spotlight or one-up each other to prove their worth. Instead, they push each other toward greatness in a way that's collaborative, not combative. If one of them wins, they both win because their success isn't measured in individual achievements. It's in how they elevate each other. But here's the twist. They don't seek recognition. They don't plaster their accomplishments or relationship milestones all over the place for applause. They're not interested in being the couple everyone envies. Their power lies in how deeply they understand each other and how effortlessly they work as a team, often in ways that go completely unnoticed by the outside world. They operate behind the scenes, building empires, creating change, or simply living a life that aligns with their values. What truly sets them apart is that their partnership isn't a performance. It's a strategy, a shared vision, and an unshakable trust. Together, they're not just unstoppable, they're redefining success on their own terms, and they don't need the world's approval to know they're winning. Number 8. Trust is earned, not assumed. For a sigma female and sigma male, trust isn't something handed over like a gift. It's built brick by brick, and it takes time. These two don't dive headfirst into blind faith or fall for pretty words wrapped in empty promises. They're wired to observe, to analyze, and to test before they open that deeply guarded door. It's not cynicism, it's self-respect. They've seen too much of the world's facades to trust on a whim. What sets them apart is that they value consistency above all else. Words alone won't cut it. They need actions, repeated, steady, and true. They watch how their partner handles challenges, respects boundaries, and honors commitments before they even begin to let their guard down. It's not about being cold or distant. It's about ensuring that the connection they're building is real, solid, and unshakable. And once that trust is earned, it's a fortress. Their loyalty is like steel, strong, unwavering, and nearly impossible to break. They don't just trust anyone, so when they do, it's a rare and sacred bond. There are no shortcuts to getting there, no fast-track tickets to their inner world, but that's exactly why their trust, once earned, carries so much weight. It's not cheap, and it's not fleeting. Together, they create a space where they can let their guard down without fear, knowing they've built something that can withstand storms. This isn't about blind faith. It's about earned loyalty that can't be shaken by gossip, insecurity, or misunderstandings. For them, trust is a reward, not a given. And when it's solidified, it becomes the backbone of a partnership that most people can only dream of. Number 9, the relationship that confuses everyone else. To outsiders, a Sigma female and Sigma male's connection might seem perplexing, almost confusing. From the outside looking in, they appear aloof, distant, maybe even cold. Their interactions might be subtle, understated, or unconventional, leaving people wondering, are they even close? But the truth is, what outsiders fail to see is the powerful, almost indescribable depth that lies beneath the surface. They don't wear their emotions on their sleeves, and their bond doesn't follow the typical script that society expects from couples. There's no constant hand-holding, no loud declarations of love, no public displays of affection to prove they're a real couple. They don't need that. The connection they share is much deeper than surface-level gestures. It's rooted in an unspoken understanding, a mutual respect, and a rare level of emotional intelligence. They don't need to constantly remind the world they're together because they know, and that's enough. This relationship defies traditional expectations. It doesn't rely on the approval or validation of others to exist or thrive. While other couples might feel the need to flaunt their love or prove their bond to the world, the Sigma pair finds peace in their privacy. They've learned that real strength doesn't need to be shown off. For them, the beauty of the connection lies in the quiet moments, the ones others might overlook. The glance that says everything without words, the shared silence that feels more intimate than any conversation, the understanding that's felt rather than spoken. They don't need the approval of outsiders because in their world, they've already found everything they need in each other. And that makes their bond unshakable, no matter how confusing it may seem to those who are watching from the sidelines. Number 10. Silence becomes a love language. For a Sigma female and Sigma male, silence is more than just the absence of noise. It's a profound language all its own. While many people might feel uncomfortable in silence, filling the void with words just to ease the tension, they've mastered the art of being perfectly content without saying a single thing. It's not awkward or forced. It's comforting. In those moments of quiet, they're not lost for words. They're simply immersed in the presence of each other, where the need for verbal expression fades into the background. The kind of connection they share is so deep that words often feel unnecessary. They understand each other on a level that transcends communication through speech. A shared glance, the way they're positioned next to each other, even the simple act of sitting in the same space. These small, seemingly insignificant gestures speak volumes. They've reached a point where the silence between them says more than 1,000 conversations could. In a world that's constantly trying to fill every space with noise, their ability to sit together and simply be is rare. They don't need to explain their thoughts or validate their feelings with constant chatter. Their connection is solid enough to exist without external input. In fact, words might even dilute what they're trying to convey, because the silence carries a weight that's richer and more intimate than anything spoken. This isn't just about not talking, It's about being so deeply attuned to one another that silence becomes a natural part of the relationship. It's a space where comfort, trust, and understanding thrive, where words aren't required to express love, because the silence already speaks louder than anything they could say. In the end, the bond between a Sigma female and a Sigma male isn't the kind of connection you'll see plastered on magazine covers or flaunted on social media. It's quieter, deeper, and in many ways more powerful than anything society often deems ideal. They don't need validation, they don't need the spotlight, and they don't need anyone's approval to know they've found something extraordinary. What they share isn't just love, it's a rare, unshakable partnership built on respect, trust, and an understanding that doesn't rely on words or grand gestures. Their relationship defies conventional norms, existing in a space where silence speaks volumes and actions always speak louder than promises. They don't need to constantly prove themselves to the world. Their bond is quietly unbreakable, and the strength of their connection is something that doesn't need to be showcased or explained. It's felt, not seen. This kind of partnership isn't for everyone, but for the Sigma pair, it's the pinnacle of what true love can be. Silent, strong, and fiercely individual, yet perfectly in sync. They know the real beauty lies in the depths, in the moments that go unnoticed by others, but are cherished between them. And in a world that often thrives on chaos and noise, the quiet power of a Sigma bond is something extraordinary, rare, and undeniably magnetic. If you found this insight into the Sigma connection as fascinating as we did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join us for more content that digs deep into the untold truths and extraordinary dynamics of unique relationships. If you loved what you heard, give this video a thumbs up and share it with anyone who needs to hear it. Let's spread the word about these rare, powerful bonds. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Trust me, it's going to be even more intriguing. Thanks for watching, my ladies. See you in the next video. Bye for now, and God bless.